Now, Brett, we're going to be jumping into the MLB now because that's the only other sport we really have going on other than everything that's going on with the Olympics. So we have a full slate of games going into Monday, and I had some lines in Oregon to look at rather early as well. They're not fully out. I mean, we still have some games that are pending, but we do even have both sets of lines for the Braves Mets doubleheader that'll be going on Monday.
Yeah, Higgins, and you can find me on game one because my guy, Marcus Stroman, is the expected starter, at least according to the Oregon Sportsbook there. And I'm seeing the Mets minus 145 right now, Higgins, but that's right at my threshold, so I'm going to take that. Marcus Stroman versus Kyle Muller is a huge mismatch, and, it's not often I bet on my team, but Atlanta without Acuna. I don't, I don't love their lineup right now. They're missing a few pieces that they started the season with for a variety of reasons, injuries and other. But yeah, the Mets are coming back. They're healthy. Pete Alonso's smashing the ball. Stroman's pitching really well. So I like the Mets minus 145 in game one.
In game one, that is, let's be clear, because we do also have game two. Some potential pitchers, at least for the Braves, are out, at least from ESPN already. Bryce Wilson's going to be pitching in that one. We don't know who the Mets pitcher will be there for that one, but as we do know, the tendency is whoever wins in game one, try to bet the other side maybe for game two, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to stay away from the doubleheader, though, Brett. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays versus the Red Sox, and I'm taking the hometown Sox on the money line at minus 105. That's because they have Nick Pivetta on the mound facing off against Thomas Hatch. And if you don't know who that name is, that's because he has not pitched in the majors yet this year. He pitched for the Blue Jays last year in 2020. That is the only ever time that he's been in the majors before. So never pitched in front of fans either, or at least in front of a major league stadium worth of fans. So going to Fenway, pitching in this atmosphere, I like Boston in this scenario, minus 105 on the money line. They've been playing well too. Blue Jays are ready to go back to Toronto. I don't know if they're going to be going into Boston with their hearts into it right now. And Boston's been playing well at home. They're 31-20, so why not back the home team as slight dogs at minus 105?
Boston crazy comeback on Sunday, Higgins versus the Yankees. No hit through 7 innings, and yet they win the game 5-4. Go figure. The Boston Red Sox are hot. But I'm going over to the White Sox game, Higgins, because the White Sox are facing the Royals. You're going to have to double check this line for me because I don't have the line. But in our rundown, the White Sox are minus 110 with Dallas Keuchel on
Yep,
the mound
that's
at
still the
Kansas
line.
City.
That is still the line.
Someone needs to explain this line to me. It's clearly a trap, like in Star Wars. It's a trap, but I am sucker bet. I am all in on the White Sox minus 110. This line just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's facing off against Mike Minor, who has an ERA north of 5 as well and has a 7-8 record on the year, so he's under 500. It's the Kansas City Royals who they're not going to really compete in this AL Central against this White Sox team. Chicago's going to run away with that division. I think that you're entirely right with the White Sox winning this game. I also wouldn't be surprised as we're approaching the trade deadline this upcoming week if we start seeing more of these teams decide to fully be sellers potentially and have some interesting moments like that. So, White Sox, a notable name like Dallas Keuchel on the mound, I like the pick. I'll stay away from you though. I'm going to go with another matchup that has some notable names on the mound, though. That's going to be the Reds versus the Cubs. And Brett, in Oregon, I don't get the full line for this game. I only get the money line, but I'm getting the Reds plus 115 as dogs in Chicago facing off against the Cubs. And I'm taking this for a couple reasons. One, as we've said in the past couple of episodes, you and I believe the Cubs are going to be sellers. Ever since they kind of made that Jock Peterson move, that's kind of been the boat that I've been in, and I've been really apprehensive to bet on the Cubs since they've made that move. I've been kind of waiting and watching. I'll bet against them. I won't really bet on them. And if we look at who's on the mound, it's going to be Wade Miley versus Kyle Hendricks. A very good matchup of both of these teams' aces, but Kyle Hendricks is coming off of a strong outing where he had to face off against Adam Wainwright with the Cardinals not too long ago in his last outing. I don't know if he's ready for another big pitcher's battle like he could face against Wade Miley, so I'm going to take the Reds as the dogs in this scenario. Also, because when you look at Cincinnati on the road, they are 25-22 as a ball club, and you look at the Cubs at home, they're 30-18, but I still believe they're going to be sellers, so I don't really buy that home team number right now.
Well, I love all the praise you're heaping on Wade Miley, calling him an ace, calling him like a star. God, Wade Miley needs to hire you as his PR guy, Higgins. I know he threw a
Hey, he had a good
no-no.
year. Yeah, he threw a no-no. That's a good enough year for me to start
Good
boosting his
enough.
ego at
Ace.
least a little bit this year.
Ace.
Who else is the ace with the Reds?
I don't know
Not
if
Luis Castillo.
I
It's
mean
Wade
it's
Miley.
Sonny Gray, but Sonny might not be healthy. I don't know. Um,
Sonny's 2-6. It's gotta be. It's gotta be Wade Miley. I'd say.
all right, fair enough. Wade Miley, ace. Rockies Angels is where I'm gonna take us, Higgins, because there's an actual quote unquote ace on the mound. His name's Shohei Ohtani. He
I think I've
also
heard
hit
of him.
his he hit his 35th home run of the season on Sunday. So doing it with both on both ends, Shohei Ohtani pitching and hitting. The Rockies come to town, Higgins. Trevor Story still on the roster. Unfortunately, we got to place some bets early here. Trevor Story's definitely in the rumor mill, a name to definitely watch before placing this bet. But I'm going over 8 because anytime a guy is throwing really hard, the ball can be hit really hard and it can leave the ballpark. I think the Angels can score enough runs to get this 8 to the over as long as the Rockies score. I feel like the Rockies need to put a number up on the board and this 8 hits. But if the Rockies get shut out, I'm screwed, Higgins.
Well, hey, if we want to talk about the Rockies, they almost made an appearance on our money line magic. If it wasn't for the USA versus France, there were two notable baseball games that could have made it. One of which was the Rockies coming back against the Dodgers down 3-1, scored 4 runs in the top of the ninth to win 5-3 last Thursday. A very, very strong outing by them. But also, there is one more game that I'm going to find myself on in the MLB, Brett, and that's going to be this Astros Mariners game. And everything should tell you that you're probably going to want the Astros in this situation. I mean, they have Luis Garcia on the mound against Darren McCahan, who 0-0 on the year. I mean, he has a 1.8 ERA, but that's because he's only pitched 5 innings so far this season. So who knows what he can do in his second outing. But I'm going to back Seattle at +1.5 at -115 because I don't think it is terrible odds when you look at the other side of that with having the Astros -1.5 at -105, especially when you consider Seattle is the second best team in the MLB right now at hitting their run line. They are right behind the Giants. The Seattle Mariners are 57-43 at hitting the run line so far this year. Meanwhile, the Astros are not doing that well at hitting their run line. They're more around 500 at 52-48. So give me Seattle in this scenario. Give me the home team. I think they're going to keep it close. And even if you look at how these teams have played so far this year, there's been a few single run games. There's been a couple 2-run games. I think there was one or two that were more than 2 runs, but they've been staying pretty close so far. So I like this run line.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a team that's come in, won 3 straight, Higgins. They played well in the AL West this year, I feel like. So, I think that one's within reason. I think it's a big game tomorrow night because the Mariners have played so well as of late. I don't necessarily believe in my heart of hearts that the Mariners are like in the AL West race, but you win 5, 6 games in a row, Higgins. Things start looking a little different in those standings. Maybe you become buyers at the deadline instead of sellers. Who knows? So this series against the Astros, really big series in the AL West.
It's game one of that series starting on Monday, and I agree. A very big 3-game series going on between those two teams. Seattle's currently 7 games back behind the Astros, who are the leaders in the AL West. So let's say best case scenario, Seattle sweeps. Only 4 games back all of a sudden. That's a much different discussion that front office is probably having than they are having on Sunday night, Monday morning, potentially. So, very interesting things to be aware of. Very, very important. I would wait till you have these lineups guaranteed. At least try to secure the listed pitchers if possible with your sports book, so you can at least try to have something nailed down. I mean, we're in the week coming up to the MLB trade deadline. We saw Nelson Cruz get traded right before last episode. We saw Jock Peterson a few episodes before that. You never know what could happen on any of these one games. You could have a guy get pulled in the middle of a game even. So make sure you pay attention to these lineups and try to get the most information you can before you're placing your lines. We're just trying to give you our analysis the best that we can see fit.
Yeah, I mean, Higgins, you mentioned it. How about Sunday night? Adam Frazier to the Padres. So guys are
Big
being
trade.
moved. Yeah, guys are being moved.
Adam Frazier, most hits in the MLB, arguably the biggest bat that you could have gotten right now in this trade market. Going to the Padres, some are arguing, did they need him? Where did they put him? It'll be interesting to see how they try to make that work, but it'll be very interesting.